Hello, everyone, and welcome to Conversations with Eva Medilek. I am Eva Medilek, your executive high performance coach, and I have a very special guest with me today, Dr. Ada Gonzalez. She is a holistic thought leader, an international speaker, communications expert with 30 plus years of experience. And she actually specializes in leadership development, communication, systems thinking, and transformation. And the reason why I wanted to bring Dr. Gonzalez with you today is she's going to talk with us about pivoting, the power of pivotability, which is a long word, but how to reinvent your life amid change. We are now living in a world where uncertainty is the new norm. Things are changing all the time. And so our ability to pivot, make deliberate and thoughtful changes in response to these changes in our circumstances is essential. And some people have a lot of anxiety around pivoting and they're unsure of themselves. So I thought having a conversation with Dr. Gonzalez would be so supportive for all of us navigating change. So welcome, Dr. Ada. So nice to see you today.
Thank you very much for that warm welcome. And I just love talking to people about change and transformation. And you are totally right. In today's world, change is more normal than no change. And yet we still don't like it because we don't like uncertainty.
Exactly. We need safety. We need security. We need to be certain. It's funny when you say that, looking very forward into the future can create a lot of anxiety and worry. And I noticed that habit in myself. And now that my mom has passed away and I spend a lot more time with my dad on his own, I realize that he worries far ahead too. And I'm like, oh my God, that's where I get it from. So, and I think we all have a certain amount of this in our lives anyway. But how can people who tend to worry or tend to not welcome change, what are some of the things you help people with to help them navigate, to help them pivot, the pivotability? What does that mean exactly?
Well, pivotability means that you are resilient while going through change, that you can turn around or 1 quarter at least or something, and then keep going and being able to flourish in the midst of the change and transformation instead of worrying about will I be able to finish doing what I want to do and will it be better or worse, kind of being able to be in the present, still flourishing, even though you are in the midst of change. And that is important not only for individuals, but for organizations too. Because many times when an organization is going through change, it's almost as if everything tends to go to a standstill, and that pivotability lets you keep moving even though you are changing. I like to think of it almost as how you think about the hinges on a door.
Hmm.
Those hinges help you being able to open the door more or less, but the door is still firm even though it's moving.
Mm.
Do you see
That's a
that?
great, yeah, that's a great analogy. You can swing in whatever direction you need to go to manage the change, but you still have kind of an assuredness, kind of a solid kind of foundation, if you will, to stand on as you are pivoting and moving.
Right. So that goes back to the core of you and things that make you feel more secure about yourself, even though you might be in the midst of change. What is it that makes you feel that you are secure, that you, inside of you, even though you might be going through change, even though you might be going through uncertainty, you still are not losing the main you? You know what I mean?
Mm. How do we
So
do that? Yeah, because that feels like one of those easier said than done.
Yeah. So part of it is just the awareness of what is your purpose in life. What is it that makes you feel that you are helpful to others? What is it that gives you grounding? What are your main values? So in a way, it's looking to your heart. What are the main things in your heart that make you feel grounded, and that those are the things that you say, doesn't matter what changes, I will never change this because this is who I am.
So the core
The
and
core.
essence of
Yeah,
who you are.
that essence.
Yeah. So how do you do that if you are in a company, in an organization that is going through their own internal changes? And you're worried, you're afraid of your job, your position, your salary. Is there room for you in this change? How can I be a part of this change? And there's uncertainty, because I know I've read so many books on this and how leaders keep the actual changes from people, but they say changes are coming. And so your whole department is worried about, what are these changes going to mean to us and me? And will it be better or worse or whatever? And people are kind of left hanging. How can people be grounded through uncertainty?
They need to go day by day, almost moment by moment sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
because they need to keep functioning even though they don't know what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I'm working with the leader that is trying to get that change to work, I encourage them to involve everybody in the planning, because then it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
You know, if they are trying to keep things from everybody, it's harder for people to face the reality of what comes.
Mm-hmm.
And when it finally comes, then they are in a panic. So if you are a leader and you have any say in the transformation, it's much better that you involve people in the whole from the planning stage. Don't wait until you have everything cooked and
Mm-hmm.
then expect that everybody will jump in. Well, you have been thinking about it for quite a while, and the other people are just finding out. So it makes it more difficult. But if you are not the leader and you are just one of the people that are waiting for the other shoe to fall, as they say, um, you just need to keep moving one day at a time
Mm-hmm.
and face the reality. See, we don't like sometimes to face the reality. We prefer to say, oh, well, who knows if it will happen. Other times they have said there's going to be change and there is no change. Now you need to face the reality that maybe by the way they are talking, it is going to be a change. And you cannot just hide from it, but you cannot obsess about it either if you don't know what it implies.
Mm-hmm.
So if you and also it depends on your personality. If you are the type of person that likes detail and planning and all of that, you feel even worse because you cannot do that because you don't know
Right. The unknown, the uncertainty.
the uncertainty. But then you need to plan just for the day and to say, okay, if the worst happen, even that you can think, if the worst happen, I will talk to so and so that I know maybe they might have a place for me, or I will, but I will not start worrying about it until I know.
Mm-hmm. So, what
So
I'm hearing you say in all of this is part of the way to manage our anxiety, fear, worry around uncertainty is to really be present
mhm,
today.
correct.
What can I do today? What can I accomplish today? How can I take care of myself today? With If you don't have any control, none of us have control of the future, because the future is not guaranteed. There really is no future. We can have plans, but we don't know what life has in store for us. And as we see, if you listen to the news, life can change in an instant, right? And That's why it's so important to be present. When you were saying all that, it reminded me of a time where my husband and I were having some challenges in our marriage, and we didn't know what the future would hold for our marriage. And I was fearful that some past behavior might be repeated, but also worried about, well, what if, you know, we end up divorcing and all of the stuff that comes with anybody who's ever broken up or had a divorce, all of the stuff. We had businesses together, all of that. And one of the things that kept me out of worry and out of fear, I always look at past is fear, future is worry, was to stay present. What can I do today? How can I show up today? How can I be an intentional today for how I want my day to go, how I want my relationship to go, how I want our communication to go? And you string enough present days together,
Mhm.
you build a better future.
And what action can I take today, even if it is a small action? Because action dislodges fear and worry, because now you are just
Doing something.
doing something.
Mm-hmm.
So, even if that action is, I'm going to clean up my the place where I put all my files, because I don't know if I might have to do that and move offices. Okay,
Yeah.
fine, do it. You will be
Mm-hmm.
taking action.
Right, right. So part of what you do, I know because you and I have had a few conversations together. I know you also help people in their relationships. You help people in their transformation. You help people in their communication and how they think about approaching problems and challenges and transformation. And you are educated and credentialed in this area. But I remember you and I talking not too long ago about something that you're planning, a little bit more intimate retreat to help people. You want to share a little bit about that?
Oh, yeah, because I'm so excited about it.
Mhm.
See, I am calling it a journey of renewal. And I'm taking just a group of 12 women to Italy next year in the fall to just pull together the experiences that we will have together in that uh, in Florence, in that foreign land, um, with the power of renewing our bodies, our minds, our emotions, and how the two can help each other. Because sometimes when we are away from our normal environment, it's easier for our brain to open up and to go like, oops, yeah, I have never thought about this, you know. And also you are experiencing new things, maybe things that you have not experienced before, but you give yourself the chance to experience it. And then you go like, well, okay, so maybe I can do that in my life too. And I think that especially for women, that so many times we are so socialized to think about everybody else but ourselves, being that children, family, pets, the people under us in an organization, uh, students, if you are a teacher, that the last you think about is yourself, or clients if you are a coach like you and I are. And so taking 6 days to just think about yourself and have fun and do things that are a good experience for yourself is just amazing. I am all enthused, and I think I will make this kind of like a once a year thing that I can take people maybe to different places.
It
So
sounds amazing. It sounds amazing. Yeah, no, it sounds like a beautiful trip, and Italy is absolutely spectacular in the fall. I actually honeymooned in Italy in the fall, so I can vouch for how gorgeous it is in the fall. So, yeah, so how can people stay in touch with you? I know you have a free gift for people, and hopefully that'll help them learn more about the power of the work that you do, but also to be made aware of how they can get on this retreat if it sounds like a good idea for them as well.
Well, the gift I have for them is how to develop pivotability so they can, it's kind of like an infographic and it will be easier to consume, but at the same time, will give them um, more ideas on what it is. But it's very easy to get a hold of me. You can just email me at my name, Ada at adagonzalez.com, or you can schedule a call with me at adagonzalez.com/calendar. Easy.
So easy, easy breezy, beautiful. Well, thank you, Dr. Gonzalez, for taking the time to speak to us today and share, something I think is a very real issue for so many people with what's going on in the world today, and the changes are happening fast in a lot of areas. And how can we take care of ourselves so that we can pivot and stay grounded and healthy and mentally energized for whatever's next for us. So I appreciate all of your insights. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
All right.